Okay, what I have to show you here is some experiments done by Rodney Warren in Australia, and I work with him. We do the light experiments together, and I have a theory of vortex particles, and vortex particles are spinning disassociated electrons. They have no nuclear bits, and I believe that's exactly what you're seeing here. Rodney has mastered a technique, and I can't tell you exactly how, but he works with Venturis and so forth in a very unsophisticated system, but the results are unbelievable. I believe that is an electron. Boom, 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 boom. And what he did was he takes these photographs of them, and this is what we call a length. And what it is it, and by the time he takes that one shot, that electron is going all the way down there. Now, it shows up on the top because it's like a stroboscopic effect, let's take it that way. And it shows up on the top, but as time goes out, it drifts, and that's just absolutely natural. You would expect it. Now, and the other thing is it compresses as time goes out, which is also natural. You see these over here? These, the dot is somewhere off to the side, and the same here. But this particular electron, and this is a vortex particle, was sitting at the top, and it became very, very apparent. Now, the whole idea of vortex particles is they spin like this. Spin, 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 spin as they go down and stream forward at the speed of light in the particular media that it's in. And light does change. And we've accelerated past the speed of light using a vortex, and I'm pretty sure of that. Now, so anyway, these are particles. You see how these are open? Because it's come through a vortex now. This is well, Rodney is doing this. I don't do the experiments at all. I never touch one of these things. He does them. Fabulous guy. Smart. He owns a business, he's an experimenter, and I do research in atomic theory. Now, we believe these are the electrons, and they shoot out from a source. And not only, I got some other stuff to say, it's crazy, but I believe it's true. I believe that's dark energy and dark matter. Because when it's in transit, you don't see it because it's not interacting. This is interacting somehow with the atmosphere that has nuclear particles in it. But when it's in outer space, the vacuum of space, it's not going to hit anything. And we know it's coming to us from the stars. We know it's coming here. So obviously it's in transit. It's energy. When it hits here, it comes and it lights up, and it's energy. So it's dark energy and dark light in transit. That's all it is. Anyway, these here, you can see the compressive it spins down to where it compresses itself. And I'm going to show you some others. It's very, very interesting stuff. All right, you've seen the electron spinning, I hope, in that blue shot with a little white dot. Now, we're calling these vortex particles, and that means they spin forward. They all go at the same speed forward, but the spin is different. So that creates the frequency, and that creates the energy. Now, so these are electrons only. There's no nuclear bits zip, flying off, and they are thrown off of the sun and other stars as electrons spinning. So the speed of the spin is the frequency. Some of them spin real fast, some of them spin a little slower. The frequency literally is the mass. So if one of them is spinning slowly, it doesn't have a whole lot of potential. If something's spinning like a rocket ship, well, of course it's going to have some more attention. Now, E equals mc squared is not really actually real. Energy is actually equals the electron mass at rest. So let's say it weighs a pound at rest. That is the energy. It's the speed of light. They all go the same speed of light, so the c squared has nothing to do with anything. It's just in there for obfuscation. Now, so you got an electron. It's going, and it's the mass of the electron. It's going forward at the same speed, so they all have the same speed, but they have different frequencies. So the electron mass weighs 1 pound times the frequency. The frequency is 100 spins a second. It weighs 100 pounds. If it's 1,000 spins a second, it weighs 1,000 pounds. That's all there is to it. Now, The other thing that's silly is that light is really dark energy. Dark energy is light that's in transit coming from the stars. And light requires nuclear particles to act up and show itself. So here's what's happening. At the sun, it's blasting out all of these electrons. And we know that because we know that. They're radiating from the sun. Now, they come through space. Well, they have to come through space to get to us, obviously. We don't see them in space. They are dark. They're dark energy. When they hit the Earth, they turn into energy, electronicity. They hit solar panels, excuse me, they turn into electricity. They hit you, they turn warm. That's all there is to it. It's energy. They hit a Crookes radiometer, it spins it. And the brighter it is, the faster it spins. There's no question. There is a mass there. That's something that Einstein didn't have. He said it had no mass. That's what I read. I read it says there's no mass and it's just some kind of nothing. Just like the Big Bang, which is also wrong. Anyway, let's go with light requires nuclear particles, and in the midst of going to us, it's dark energy. Now, planets and life are electron eaters. No question about it. They're hitting us. They're not re-radiating at the same speed they're hitting us. We're giving off a little bit of space, but absolutely not what's coming through to us. So the planets and life are electron eaters, and therefore, obviously, the Earth is rapidly expanding. And it's just so obvious. If you took a 5-pound bucket of dirt and you put it in a tent, and you put a seed in it, and you put a little water in there, a while later you got 10 pounds. The water goes away, it drifts into space, and it comes back and it rains, and that's it. The water has nothing to do with it. The dirt that's in a bucket still weighs the same amount. Some of it now is roots, no big deal. The rest is biomass. The thing has increased exponentially in weight. This is happening every day on Earth, and the thing that's increasing it is the electrons, the number of electrons that it's eating. This is fully understandable. You take a brighter light on a plant and it grows faster. That's all there is to it. It's just all so obvious. Anyway, and nobody will listen to us. We sent this stuff to MIT a couple times and they've never heard anything. We sent it to everybody. We've never heard anything. So it's just that we're not part of that system. So they don't pay attention to us, but what we got here is pretty obvious. Anyway, that's what it is. Okay, now this is the Venturi slit experiments Rodney does. Now this is a single slit, and what it is uses 2 nails, carpentry nails. Nothing's fancy, but it creates the 2 circular nails alongside of each other, create a compression point, which is called a Venturi. And as the light hits that compression point, the nails are here. And the light is coming through the nails towards us. And when it hits and it has to force itself through that curvature of the Venturi, it accelerates, and there is no option. It has to accelerate. And it is a liquid, really. And when it accelerates, it reaches beyond the speed of light. And then when it comes back into this normal, unrestricted space, it creates compression waves and photons. I'm not sorry, you call them photons. They're not photons. They're vortex particles. And they shoot off here in streams. And I'm going to show you some very good shots. And we believe that Rodney's captured an actual electron in flight. It's bizarre. I'm sorry. It's bizarre. It is what it is. Now, I'm going to show you that in a second. All right, this is a real tight shot on that green. Now look at those little buggers at the top. Those aren't little like insects. They look like little guys with eyes, but they're not. I think they are the actual particles, and we're catching them 2 at a time, but in the same effect that they're on you're on the same thing that happened in that blue shot where it cascades down and we're actually seeing the actual electron. Look at that. I've never seen anything like that, have you? And we know what it's flying off of. Look, it's got these little spikes coming up from the top and the bottom. Look at the other one's probably easier to see the spikes. Look at that. I don't know what it is. I would say it's, if what we're seeing is the cascade of light, I'd say those are electrons, vortex particles, spinning. Now this was what really caught my eye with Rodney, and this is to me the proof of vortex particles. It's exactly what you would expect to happen. Here's the white cascading Cherenkov effect coming out, and these little dots are the actual chaotic electrons, vortical particles, and as they come through, they they realign themselves. I don't know how they do it, but you can see how this is a high energy. This is a red laser, so it's coming through here supposed to be red. Well, it's not red. It's white because it's been compressed and it's been accelerated and it's gone into a higher frequency. So what does it have to do? It has to decelerate. It has to come down through frequencies, and that's exactly what you see. Here's the white, and it starts to filter down. You can see these are the plates. We call them electron plates, and they're trails. And I'll show you, there's no question about it. The next one you see is just unbelievable. Now, what they do is they start to lose energy. So from the white, they go down to these purples, and then they end up, at this point, they've decelerated into the reds, and then they just start to shower out these, radiation. Now, my theory is look for the smoking gun, and this is it. Right after the Venturi, you have your white, and then it starts to come down towards the red. And you can see, in this is not, you're not going to be able to see it in these shots, but I might have some other ones that you will be able to see. It's a little hard to see, but these are actually eddies. They're little tiny spinning eddies. And you can see what happens. These are the vortex particles, and they're starting to come back into their normal spin.